So welcome to today's deep dive. I mean, think about delegating tasks at work. You might ask a brilliant intern to research a market or, draft an email.
Right, standard stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you would never just hand that intern the corporate checkbook, right?
Okay.
Like giving them the legal authority to sign binding B2B contracts without asking you first.
Yeah, no, that would be completely insane.
It would be. But today we are diving into this fascinating stack of notes on Project Sovereign. It's this April 2026 integration between JPMorgan Payments and OpenAI. And we're really exploring what happens when AI shifts from being just a helpful advisory co-pilot to an authorized payer.
Wielding actual digital power of attorney, which is just wild to think about.
It really is. So to ground this for the listener, what is the core takeaway here?
Well, the implications for how you run a business are profound. I mean, we are literally looking at the death of the human-centric checkout UI. It is the rise of autonomous fiduciaries.
Wow.
Yeah, so the AI is no longer just suggesting a purchase. It has the actual legal authority to execute it.
Okay, but wait. If the AI now has the checkbook, how does it actually buy something? Because, there's no physical checkout button for a piece of software to click.
Exactly, and that shifts the entire paradigm. It goes from this reactive click-to-pay model to proactive intent to settle.
Intent to settle.
Right. Legacy commerce requires all these multi-step interfaces and manual reconciliation, but Project Sovereign operates on what they call synchronous autonomy.
Okay, break that down for me. What does that look like?
So you simply provide an intent. You just say, replenish inventory at the best market rate by Friday, and that is your only input.
That's it. Just one sentence.
That's it. The agent then goes out, finds the supplier, negotiates the terms, and executes the payment entirely independently on JPMC rails.
Wait, but my current payments require, like, Face ID or an SMS code to prove I am who I say I am. An algorithm obviously doesn't have a face to scan.
No, it doesn't.
So how does a piece of software actually prove its identity to a bank?
Well, that exact lack of a physical face is fracturing legacy financial systems right now. It's creating three massive friction points. The first is the identity gap.
Because we have know your customer rules for humans.
Right, but there is no know your agent or KYA framework. The second issue is agentic drift.
Meaning what exactly?
Meaning the legal and financial liability if an AI, say, misinterprets a procurement limit or a really complex contract clause.
Oh, right. That could be a total disaster.
Huge disaster. And the third is liquidity lock. Standard T+2 settlement where it takes 2 days to clear funds. Well, that breaks down entirely when an AI is making millisecond trading decisions.
In volatile markets, yeah. I mean, if a standard transaction takes 2 days to settle, but the AI is making 1,000 purchasing decisions a second, that system is just going to crash.
Exactly.
How does the bank keep up with that speed, let alone the whole identity issue you just mentioned?
Well, JPMorgan built this thing they call the Agentic Orchestration layer. To solve the identity gap, human biometrics are replaced by cryptographic signatures. Because an AI doesn't have a fingerprint, the bank assigns it a unique, mathematically unforgeable string of code.
Oh, so every time the AI spends a dime?
It stamps the transaction with that code. It instantly proves its authority to the bank.
Okay, that makes sense for identity, but what about the speed?
For speed, they use predictive liquidity staging. Think of a store manager moving cash from a backroom safe to the front registers right before a big weekend sale starts.
Pre-positioning the funds.
Exactly. The AI analyzes upcoming agentic intents and autonomously pre-balances treasury positions across currencies, and it does this before the transaction even finalizes.
Wow. What about the actual accounting? Because our sources mention DLT-based delivery proofs and ISO 2022 rich data fields. I mean, that sounds like a massive compliance manual. How does that help the AI?
I know, it sounds super dense, but think of it as a standardized digital passport attached directly to the money.
A digital passport.
Right. Instead of a human matching a PDF invoice to a bank wire 3 days later, the payment itself carries the exact contract terms and delivery receipts. It's all baked into the code.
So it reconciles instantly.
Instantly.
Hold on, though. If the solution to a rogue AI, that agentic drift liability you brought up, if the solution is just adding a guardian AI to watch the purchasing AI, aren't we just creating a blind feedback loop? Like, who is auditing the guardian?
That is a very fair pushback, but the guardian operates on an entirely separate, hard-coded logic architecture.
Meaning it's not just another generative model that could hallucinate.
Right. It enforces real-time policy. It ensures the purchasing agent stays strictly within corporate risk mandates before a single cent actually moves. It acts as this unbreachable firewall between intent and execution.
So to bring this back to you, the listener, imagine waking up and realizing your business just restocked its own inventory, negotiated a 5% discount, and paid the vendor, all while you were asleep.
It really is the reality of an intent-driven business. No more manual B2B procurement, no more chasing down invoices.
It completely removes the human bottleneck from execution. But, I mean, it leaves us with this wild question to chew on.
Oh, definitely.
If specialized agents are now autonomously negotiating contracts, clearing funds, and signing with cryptographic keys, how long until these agents realize they don't need human-built corporate structures at all?
Right. What if they just start forming their own autonomous companies?
Exactly. It makes you wonder who that brilliant intern with the checkbook will eventually be working for.